Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for this week's edition of the Sunbury Shores Art Attack. Since you can't get to know our local artists by visiting the gallery, we thought we'd bring some artists to you. So joining us today from the comfort of his own studio is local artist James Whitehead. Hi James.
Hi.
Thanks for being with us today.
Pleasure.
So
it's scary actually, but
the format of this series, as you know, is that I'm going to ask you a few rapid fire questions, and you have not seen the questions in advance, so I'm going to ask you to give us the very first response that comes into your head. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yeah, go for it.
All righty. So question number one, we'll start with an easy one. How long have you been making art?
3 years in January, so not long.
And who is the person who first inspired you to become an artist?
I had pretty bad art teachers actually at school, so I wasn't inspired very early on. You know, good teachers make good role models. I had really good science teachers, and that's why I went into science. So I haven't really been inspired by anyone. It was really because of a really long journey that I had home from Ecuador, where I overwinter. A 60-hour journey. I was just bored in the airport and just started sketching, and that's where it all kind of started. I realized, well, it's not really that bad, and just stayed with it, practicing.
Great. And what do you love most about painting?
Just seeing what comes out at the end. It's really a big surprise. So I'm really in kind of an experimental mode, trying new things and then seeing where it takes me. So I like the exploratory form of the whole thing and just learning new stuff. What's
your favorite piece you've ever done?
I don't have that one anymore. Someone bought it at one of the Christmas sales, but it's a quick one that I did, and I much prefer the stuff that is more fluid, that I can do with more kind of passion, that comes out quite quickly, rather than the itsy bitsy detail stuff. It was a guy's portrait looking heavenward, and I don't have that anymore.
And what's the best art workshop that you've ever attended?
I've done a few at Sunbury Shores. That's the only place I've taken any workshops. A couple with Maggie Rolls. They're awesome. She's awesome. She's a great teacher. Alyssa Monks gave a really good one last year that really taught me to get the color right on your brush first and put it on with a great big glob and leave it there. Don't mess with it. And I tend to tinker a lot, so that was a good lesson to learn from that one.
Who's your favorite artist to follow on Instagram?
I have a few that I follow. I like Brandon Sanborn's watercolors. He's down in Florida, I believe. He does male figures and uses colors that you wouldn't find in the original subject, and he leaves a lot of negative space, so it leaves you to fill in the blanks, and I really like that.
What's the first thing you look for in a subject when you're deciding to do a portrait?
Good lighting. I really like very strong light, so you have a full range of values from white to dark, so you can actually see the form of the model more than anything.
If you could choose one celebrity, past or present, as a nude model, who would that be?
That's a leading question. I don't really know. When I'm looking for models, I'm not really looking for anything specific, and there's there's a lot of interesting things in ordinary people, to be quite honest. So you just try and focus on the thing that is most interesting about them. It could be the eyes, and I've done one with a guy that I just focused on his eyes because he was fairly ordinary, a guy like me, but he had beautiful eyes, so I just focused on the eyes. So every model has something interesting to bring to the table.
Which beverage do you prefer to consume while you're painting, coffee or wine?
Not wine, because I don't drink, but and not coffee actually either. I prefer tea for the most part. Yeah.
What frustrates you most as an artist?
Getting the eyes right, and hands. I don't like hands or feet. So that's pretty much everything really. But if you don't get the eyes right, then you may as well throw the piece away. You might as well just start with the eyes and work from there, because if you fill them in at the end and you don't get them right, then everything else is just a waste of time.
If you could give one piece of advice to someone who's thinking about taking up painting, what would that be?
don't give up. Just keep trying, and don't just think, well, you don't like graphite or you don't like charcoal, give it up. Try a different medium. There's always something to learn, and perhaps you haven't found your medium yet.
Okay, that's great. Thanks very much for letting us into your studio today. Oh, one last question. Is there somewhere online that the viewers at home can go to see some of your work?
Yeah, I have an Instagram page, which I set up really for my own benefit to see how I progress through time. So some of the early stuff's not very good. Don't judge me. But it's Whitehead 7740.
Whitehead 7740. Okay,
Yeah.
folks, that was James Whitehead. Stay tuned for more Art Attack interviews with local artists. And in the meantime, stay safe and keep making art. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye, James.
Bye.